All right, let's take a look. We got some big updates. Introducing the core set and classic format. We've got some major changes on the horizon. We're ready to discuss when the cards sets from the Year of the Dragon, Rise of Shadow, Saber's Own, Descent of Dragon, and the Demon Hunter Initiate set will rotate into Wild at the launch of our next expansion. We're planning to move the basic and classic sets to Wild, as we'll make way for a new core set. Introducing the core set. The core set replaces basic and classic cards in the standard format and will contain a selection of 235 cards. After set rotation this year, standard will include sets from the Year of the Phoenix, Ashes of Atlan, Skolomet's Academy, Madness at the Darkmoon Fair, and Darkmoon Races mini set in the next expansion, and the core new set. The core set will be free for all players and will replace the basic and classic and standard as curated section of the 235 cards that's intended to provide a modern collection for starting cards to players of all types and make Hearthstone an even more approachable game for newcomers. Some of the core cards that are returning from previous sets are some of the reimagined favorites, and 29 cards are completely new. Core breakdown: 88 cards returning from classic, 54 cards, and 34 neutrals. It's just the breakdown, but not exactly. Like the basic set, you'll earn core stars by leveling up each class. All core set class cards are rewarded between levels 1 and 10 for each class, and neutral core set cards will be unlocked based on the sum of all your class levels combined up to the combination of level 60. Golden versions of the core set cards can be unlocked by completing achievements associated with winning games of each class. When you log in after rotation, you'll be automatically granted the new core set cards equal to your current level for each class. Unlike how the basic and classic cards functioned previously, the core set will be refreshed each and every year. The core set will be refreshed each year. At the end of every Hearthstone year, a new core set will take the place of the previous, comprised of new cards and existing cards. When that happens, the core set cards that are rotating will be swapped in with new ones into your collection automatically. Dude, this is huge. This is actually fucking crazy. This is actually crazy. Introducing the Legacy set. Basic and classic cards will join Wild in the form of a card set named Legacy, very similar to Magic. When the core set is added at rotation, we'll be retiring the Hall of Fame entirely. The basic and classic sets will move to Wild under a new name, Legacy set, which is where most cards from the Hall of Fame will go as well. There are a few new exceptions. Ganon, Baku, the Moon Eater, and other Hall of Fame cards from Witchwood will return to the Witchwood set, and the Shadow form will return to the standard part of a core preset. Dude, this is huge. This is actually so good for the game, chat. Also, if those of you who are here for the podcast yesterday, or no, the day before yesterday, who remembers when I was talking about how the Hall of Fame will look exactly like this? Who was there when I said this a couple days ago? I said exactly this. These words being spoken by me are the words I said exactly on Sunday during the podcast. Introducing the classic format. Craft decks and complete using Hearthstone's original 240 cards they were in 2014, the year the game. What? We're excited to share that we'll be launching a classic format alongside set rotation in our next expansion. The classic format invites players to craft decks and compete using Hearthstone's original 240 cards that they were in 2014. Bro, when logging in after our patch for the next expansion, before the X expansion unlocks, your entire collection, basic, classic, and relevant Hall of Fame cards would be mirrored in the available for deck building from the classic format that was a released patch of June 2014 after we made a few important changes. With any and all balance changes since the reverted, yes, in the classic format, Warsong Commander will give charge minions, can give minions charge. Holy Smite can go face, and Leroy Jenkins will cost 4 mana. If you want to relive the old Hearthstone experience, Classic will be the place for you. Bro, this is huge. You know where they got this from? The World of Warcraft Classic. So now there's Classic Hearthstone. Moving forward, unlocking the Wild format will also grant access to Classic format. Classic reward systems, rank systems, and seasons will function the same as in Standard and Wild. In those formats, Classic will have its own matchmaking pool, and you'll be able to challenge your friends in the Classic format from day one, and games played in Classic format will count towards any relevant achievements. Very good. Classic format cards will appear in their own section within the collection manager, and classic format decks will have a unique border on your deck selection page to differentiate them from your standard and wild decks. Speaking of the deck selection page, we're also excited to share that we'll be increasing the total number of deck slots from 18 to 27 alongside the release of classic. This is huge. This is good. We got more deck slots. Classic packs will now add to your collection for the classic format as the way they were legacy set in wild. If you have Knife Juggler in your collection and you have 2 versions of it, the one that can be used in wild with the 2 attack and 2 health, and the one that you can use in the classic format was in 3 attack and 2 health. Whoa! Cards that were added to the classic set later in Hearthstone's history will not be usable in the classics format to drop from the classic packs, but will be craftable as part of the legacy set in wild. Yeah, so all these cards came like after. Lastly, since the cards from classic packs are no longer usable in standard, we'll be replacing classic packs and various rewards such as tavern brawls and achievements with other recent card packs. What about all the money we've spent on the game over the last 5 years? What do you mean? They're not taking away anything. They're giving you stuff. You're still going to be able to play with all of the cards that you have now in Wild, and all of the standard cards are free. Wiping out cards are not wiping out any cards. They're literally giving you 235 cards for free. They're literally giving you everything. Dude, this is huge. This is like giant. This is massive. And this is probably just the tip of the iceberg. We don't even know what the cards are. But yeah, this just reinserted, this just gave life into Hearthstone. This classic format is gonna be so cool for a little bit at least. This is huge. Actually huge. Not sure those cards like Warsong Commander were nerfed for a reason. Yeah, but they're only gonna be unnerfed in the classic mode, guys. So like they're broken, but there's no other support for them. Yes, you pronounced it correct. Thank you. Okay, cool. Yeah, so like Warsong Commander, it's fine because there's only the classic set. You know what I'm saying? There's no craziness. There's no Grim Patrons to go along with it. There's Frothing Berserker though. Song, I got you. Hearthstone has no direction. It's just making random changes. What are you talking about? This is literally perfect. I don't even know how to respond to that, Blaze. Do you not understand how literally good this is for the game? Like, I don't even know how you could possibly take this and spin it to be bad. They are scraping the current game. No, they're not. So now you have to reach level 60 with every class to unlock the full new core set of cards for ranked standard? No, that's not true. They said, like the basic set, you'll earn core set cards by leveling up each class. Literally the exact same thing right now. All set class are rewarded between 1 and 10. Getting a class to level 10 will unlock all core set cards for that class. Now, if you want golden and neutral core set cards, it uses level commed up to 60, but this is a combination. This isn't with one class. This is in total. So if you get 6 classes to 10, you've unlocked this. I don't even know, like, I mean, you must not understand, like, what this means. Like, the only reason you think this is bad is because you don't understand it. Because you can't have a core and a basic set of cards that stay in Hearthstone forever. I've been saying this for a long time. So, Blaze, for example, cards like Frostbolt and Fireball, right, in a mage deck. How could you ever replace those cards, right? You just, mage decks, if you want to run a burn mage, you're auto-including Frostbolt and Fireball. How would you ever print a better version of that, right? So now what they can do is they remove those cards from the core set and they add in other cards that are like them that are different and cool. You no longer have these cards from the basic set that take up 15 cards in your decks anymore. Like, for example, Druids running Wild Growth. Now we can take out Wild Growth and put something else in there. It doesn't have to, it's not always these just staple of core cards and then we add a couple new cards on top. This is like literally fucking amazing. It's what I've been saying forever. So they're starting over with a new format. There's no new format. You can play classic Hearthstone, which will just have the classic cards in it, as it was in 2014. And that's just, I'm assuming, for memes, just to be like, you know, I get to see what Hearthstone was in 2014. You still have standard mode and Wild is still Wild. It's exactly the same. They're just changing the core and classic cards. So now it's better for building decks. Classic cards are changing. That's the format change. All right, cards changing and formats is completely different. A format is the rule sets within how you would play. Removing and adding cards is literally what keeps card games alive. I think you're confusing format change with like card set rotations. Everyone wins with this change. Yes, this is the best thing that has happened to Hearthstone. This is literally the best thing to ever happen in Hearthstone besides a new class coming. A new class is exciting. So DH won't be in Classic? Nope. So in the Classic mode, there will be no Demon Hunter. I can't wait to see how a certain group of people will twist this to make it seem like a horrible thing. Honestly, you can't, like, I don't see how this is bad at all. This is literally the best thing to happen to Hearthstone. You have a rotating core set. Zeddy will find a way. I don't think Zeddy will shit on this. I think Zeddy will be any person who has played Hearthstone for years sees this for what it is. I don't see how anybody could say this is bad. Zeddy talks shit about shit that needs to be talked shit about. Zeddy calls things that are good all the time. But Zeddy also calls bullshit. But Zeddy, I don't see how he could shit on this. The guy, there's nothing to shit on. Zed is a smart guy. There's no reason he would ever think this is bad. This is like fucking great. Can I play mid-range Paladin again? I mean, there was Paladin back in the day. Remember, it's gonna be like 2014 basic set stuff. So it's not gonna be mid-range Paladin of today. Mid-range Paladin back when is like Chillwind Yeti and like that 7 mana 5/6 heal for 6 dude. And like main decking Tyrion, and he's like the best card in your deck. Lay on Hands is actually run. Lay on Hands was insane. 2015, 2014, good sir. Using Hearthstone's original 240 cards as they were in 2014. Demon Hunter was not in Hearthstone in 2014, so it will not be part of the classic format. Yes, that is right. So wait, Chillwind Yeti is going to be good now? Yes. In this format, at least. In the classic format. Guys, keep in mind, the classic format isn't ranked in hard, like, it's not, they're not just only going to be classic, it's just going to be a format. So yes, Innervate 0 mana, so old style Wild Growth will cost 2 mana. Yeah, so Leroy costs 4 mana, Innervate is a 0 mana get 2, Wild Growth is a 2 mana ramp 1. So turn 1, you go Innervate Yeti. Knife Juggler is a 2 mana 3/2, Abusive Sergeant's a 1 mana 2/1. Leper Gnome's a 1 mana 2/1. Is fucking nuts. Fucking nuts. Conceal Leroy. Oh my god. I forgot about Conceal. You know people will shit on this. You can't make everyone happy no matter what you do, but this is great news for Hearthstone in general. Yeah, well, whoever shits on this is an idiot. I'm willing to say that. If there's a content creator who shits on this, they're an idiot. I mean, granted, if they like say this and do something else, then that's different, right? If they like bring back certain cards that break the game, that's something else. But from what we're reading, as it stands, this is the best thing to ever happen to Hearthstone. In the FAQ section, how do classic packs work with standard now? Classic packs still contain classic cards, which will be now usable in the classic format. As in Wild, as part of the legacy set, classic cards that aren't part of the core set will not be usable in standard. We're adjusting rewards for a variety of quest achievements that would previously be awarded to classic packs have a standard use instead.